This is JC Benoy, your SST teacher. Hope you are all doing well. Stay home, stay safe, take care of yourselves and your family in this very dire circumstances that we find ourselves in. Now, today we are going to start with Geography Chapter 1, the Earth in the Solar System. Now, once we have three more lessons, including this one, to finish our Unit 1 portion. So, that is what we are going to look at. Please take all the topics that are discussed in this lesson seriously. Try to understand, and whatever you do not understand, please feel free to send me a mail. Alright? So, let us start with the chapter. Like I said, the name of the lesson is The Earth in the Solar System. Now, have you ever looked at the sky and thought what is there beyond the sky? Have you sometimes go out in an open area, especially when you go to your villages and all, you can see the stars in the sky, right? So when you think about it, there is so much more which is there beyond that what we can see. So that is what we're going to study. What is there beyond the sky that we see? It is the universe. And the universe includes all the existing matter, anything that is there in the universe and the space taken together as a whole. All right, the universe is approximately 93 billion light years in diameter. Now, what are light years? Light years is the distance that light travels in 1 year. All right, how do we calculate light years? It is the distance that light travels in 1 year. So, that is a light year. So, how old is the universe? The universe is approximately 93 billion light years and in diameter. And it has been expanding since the creation. And how was it created? It was created by a theory which they discuss call as the Big Bang, which happened about 14 billion years ago. And the universe contains millions of galaxies. Now, what are galaxies? Galaxy is a large group of stars and other matter that are found throughout the universe. Now, our solar system is a part of a galaxy called the Milky Way or Akash Ganga, and it appears as a band of gas, and uh, it appears as a band of gas and other things like dust and stars, which spreads across like the arc in the night sky. How does it look? It looks like an arc in the night sky, and it is only one of the billions of the galaxies in the universe. Now, this is an image of the Milky Way. It makes like an arc shape in the sky, and you can see this in the night. So that is what our universe is all about. So what is a universe? It includes all existing matter and the spaces taken together as a whole. And the universe is approximately 93 billion light years in diameter. What is a light year? The light year is the distance that light travels in 1 year. So that is how you calculate light years. And the universe has not been stagnant. It has been expanding since the time of the Big Bang, and the Big Bang happened about 14 billion years ago, and it contains many millions of galaxies. And what is a galaxy? A galaxy is a large group of stars and other matter that are found throughout the universe. So Milky Way is not the only galaxy that you will find. There are many other millions of galaxies that you will find in the universe. Now, what are stars? Stars are huge hot bodies of gas which have their own heat and light. So, what's a star? It is a huge hot body of gas which has its own heat and light, and they're very big in size, but since we see them from the earth and they're very far away from us, they look like tiny dots in the sky. Now, you know that our sun is also a star. And if you look at very closely at the night sky, you will notice that many stars form patterns in the sky. All right, they form patterns in the sky, and if you join those dots, you will find that there is a pattern, and this specific pattern that they perform, that they make, are known as constellations. What are they known as? Constellation. So what is this constellation? It is the certain pattern that look like mythological figures, and they look like figures which we have studied about in our myth. So that is your constellation. So what is a constellation? Patterns made by stars in the sky. All right, when you join them together, you find that there's a pattern made, and that is it, and it is called a constellation. Now, there were different theories and astronomers who studied about the solar system and our universe, and one of those philosophers is a Greek philosopher, Aristotle, and Ptolemy. Now they were both ancient astronomers, and at that time they used to believe that the earth was stationary, and the sun, the moon, and the other stars and planets revolved around the earth. What was the idea that they had? They thought, because they were on earth and it felt like the sun was moving around it, so they thought that the earth was stationary and it was in the middle, and the sun, the moon, the stars, and other planets revolved around the earth. Now, this theory is known as the geocentric theory. What is it known as? It is known as geocentric theory. And why is it that way? Because this theory thinks that the earth is the center of the universe, and all the other planets, the sun, and all the other stars revolved around the earth. Now, this was in the ancient times, and the early astronomers believed that. Then, what changed this theory? So, now in the 16th century, Nicholas Copernicus presented the new model of the solar system, where he proved that the sun was the center of the universe, and the earth and the moon and the other planets revolved around it. What was Copernicus's theory? Copernicus has presented this new model of the solar system, where the sun is in the center, and the earth, the moon, and the other planets revolved around it. And this was known as the heliocentric theory. What is it known as? The heliocentric theory. So Copernicus presented the heliocentric theory, where the sun is the center of the solar system, and all the other planets, including our earth, the moon, and all the other planets, revolved around the sun. This theory is known as the heliocentric theory, and this was presented by Copernicus. And what did Aristotle and Ptolemy think? They thought that the earth was in the center of the solar system, the sun, the moon, and all the other planets revolved around the earth. Sorry. So these were the two theories that were there, and this is how it was only in the 16th century that Nicholas Copernicus brought about the heliocentric theory, and from there we have increased and improved and worked upon the study of our solar system. So our solar system comprises of the sun, various celestial bodies like the planets, their satellites, asteroids, comets, and meteors. Now, the term of solar, why is it called the solar system? The solar system is known as the solar system because the word comes from the Latin word sol. From where do we get the word solar? It comes from the Latin word sol, which means the sun. And the solar deity in the ancient Rome was also known as Sol. So that is how we came out. They brought up with the solar system. And why was it called the solar system? Because the sun is the head of the solar family. Now, why is the sun the head of the solar family? That is because its gravitational power, its power to pull things towards itself, is very strong, and that power of the sun, the gravitational power of the sun, holds together all the other members of the solar system together. All right. Now, what is the sun? The sun is a gigantic, this big, huge, flaming ball of extremely hot gases which are held together by gravity. These gases are all held together by the sun's own gravity, and it produces energy in the form of heat and light. And it, as you can see in this image, it is almost spherical in shape. It is almost like a sphere, and it has a diameter about 13 lakh 92,000 kilometers, and is about 109 times more than the Earth's diameter. Now, the sun accounts for almost 99.86% of the total mass of the solar system. The entire almost 99.86% of our solar system, the total mass of a solar system, comes from the sun. Now, do you know how many planets revolve around the sun? 8. All right. How many planets revolve around the sun? 8. And they all revolve on a specific path, which is a curved path through which objects in the space move around a planet or a star. What is that path called as? We had learnt it in the earlier chapter also. That specific path on which the planets rotate or revolve around the sun are known as the orbit. And that is how the planets, the 8 planets around the sun, revolve around the sun on the elliptical path called the orbit. So these are the things that you have to remember about the sun. What is the sun? The sun is a giant flaming ball of extremely hot gases, and which are held together by the gravity of the sun, and it produces energy in the form of heat and light. The sun is almost spherical in shape and is very huge, and it accounts for almost 99.86% of the total mass of the solar system. The planets, the 8 planets that revolve around the sun, do it on the paths, curved paths that are there around the sun, called the orbits. Alright, so let us just look at the planets a little more in depth. Now, the planets are celestial bodies which do not have light and heat of their own, but they appear to shine in the darkness of the space because they reflect the sun's light. Alright, do the planets have their own source of light? No. Then how can we see them from our earth? It is because they reflect the sun's light. All right. Now, the International Astronomical Union, that is the AIU, and IAU, International Astronomical Union, has set certain conditions for the solar system body to qualify as a planet. For any solar system body, any body that you find in the solar system, how will it be decided that it is a planet? So the IAU, that is the International Astronomical Union, has set some conditions. Now, what are these conditions? One, it must be a celestial body that is orbiting around the sun, that it is revolving around the sun on a specific path. Then you can call it a planet. Now, this body, this celestial body, must have enough weight for it to have its own gravity. Like Earth has its own gravity, in the same way any other body that we want to call a planet should have its own gravity. It should be revolving around the sun in its own orbit, and it should be nearly round in shape. It has to be nearly round in shape, and the area around the planet must be cleared by the planet. Now, what does that mean? It means that there is a lot of debris, there is a lot of things flying around in the space, and all the planets that we know of have, over a period of time, through their process of rotation and revolution, have cleared, they have created a very clean space around them. So there is no debris, there is no other flying objects in near the planets. So that is what, if a celestial body is able to clear this path around itself, then it is going to be considered as a planet. If a specific body, if a celestial body in the space has these characteristics, what were these characteristics? That it must be orbiting around the sun, it must have enough weight for its own self gravity, and it must be nearly round in shape, and it should have cleared the area around its orbit. Now, planets are celestial bodies that orbit around the sun. है ना? And in the order of their distance, what are the planets that we have in our solar system? Let's have a look at them. So, in order from the distance of the sun, the planets are Mercury. You can see it in the image over here: Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Now, all these planets, if you observe, are spherical in shape but are of different sizes. Now, Mercury is the smallest planet, while Jupiter is the largest planet. Venus is the brightest and the hottest planet in our solar system. Now, why is it so bright and so hot, Venus? That is because its atmosphere is mainly made up of carbon dioxide. And unlike other planets in the solar system, Venus spins not from west to east but east to west. Now, the planets are generally divided into two main categories. First category is that of the planets are these planets are large, low density gas giants and smaller rocky terrestrials. What are the two categories? Large, that is big, low density gas giants. These planets are, there are two categories. So one category is those planets which are large, which are big and have low density gas on them, and the other type of planets that we have are the smaller and are known as the four terrestrial planets. All right, so we have these two types. The planets are divided into two main categories or types. One is the large low density gas giants and the smaller rocky terrestrials. So that is why you must have heard when you heard about the Mars landing, so you must have seen those images. How did they look? They look so rocky. So that is why these smaller planets, which are these rocky terrestrials, these rocky planets are the Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. Which are those? So which type of planet is Earth? Earth is a rocky terrestrial. All right, and which are the other three planets which are the rocky terrestrials? Mercury, Venus and Mars. So we have four terrestrials, rocky terrestrial planets. Which are they? They are Mercury, Venus, Earth and Mars. And which are the gas giants? The gas giants are, as you can see in the image, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus and Neptune. Now, each of these planets spins on its own axis, and this movement is called the rotation. When all of these planets have a rotational movement, and also they revolve around the sun. So the time that any planet takes to rotate around itself is called that one planet day, and the movement of this the complete movement around the sun is called a revolution, and that entire time it takes for a planet to revolve, complete one revolution around the sun is called the planet year. All right, so these are the different aspects of the planets. Now you all must have all heard of Pluto, correct? Now what is that? Now Pluto is no longer considered a planet, but it is considered a dwarf planet. So what are dwarf planets? Let's first look at that. Now there are tiny planets within our solar system which are smaller, and they should be in the orbit around the sun and weigh enough. They have that enough weight to have their own self gravity and also round in shape, but they have they have not cleared the area around their orbits. All right, so why has Pluto been demoted from the planet? Why is it not a planet any longer? So dwarf planets are those planets which are within our solar system, and they should be orbiting around the sun. They should be revolving around the sun in a specific orbit. Second criteria that to be a dwarf planet is that that planet should have enough self gravity They should be almost round in shape. They should not be satellites. They should not be. They should have clear. They should not have cleared the area, the neighborhood around their orbit. So, if these are the criteria, then your planet or that celestial body can be called a dwarf planet. Now, some of the examples of the dwarf planet in our solar system are Eris, Dysmonia, Pluto, Makemake, Fermi, and the big asteroid Ceres. So they are all spherical in shape, but the only issue and they orbit around the sun, and they have their own self gravity, but they have not cleared the neighborhood area around their orbits, and that is why they are not considered as planets but are considered as dwarf planets. Now this is about our solar system and the planets and the stars. We need to know about the different planets. Now, let us just look at some facts about our planets. You all know that Earth is the only habitable planet which is home to humans and a huge variety of living organisms. Mars is called as a red planet because its surface is red. And Jupiter is the largest planet, but it spins around sorry but it spins very fast on its axis, and a day on Jupiter only lasts for 9 hours and 55 minutes. So the Earth takes 24 hours for a day to complete, but the movement of the rotation of the Jupiter is so fast that its day is only for 9 hours and 55 minutes. So these are the different aspects of our planets. One last thing about Pluto is that although the Pluto orbits around the sun, it is no longer considered a planet because it has not cleared the area around its orbit. That means that there are a lot of other bodies, celestial bodies, and other things from the space flying around the Pluto, and that is why the International Astronomical Union decided not to consider it as a planet any longer but to change it to dwarf planet, and this happened in 2006. So this is what our solar system chapter is about. We will learn more about the Earth and the satellites in the next video. Please go through the different aspects of the lesson, pay more attention, make a summary of the different points that you have heard of. If there is any point that you do not understand, please get in touch with me. Take care, stay safe.